Okay, three, two, one. Hey guys and girls, it is Custer here, and I'm joined with Tristan.
Hello.
This is our second podcast because I think the first podcast went great and it was actually fun to do. So again, we are going to talk about two topics, and probably going to make each topic about 10 to 15 minutes long. And you guys can just comment about what you think of our discussions. I know there was a lot of discussion last time on the last podcast, so you can just easily do that again. So Tristan, do you want to start off with the first topic?
Yeah. Um, which is the most, which is the best for you, Aaron? Would you prefer to work for a company designing content, or do you enjoy like the small group kind of feel?
Um, I think they have different goals. Um, a company, any gaming company which makes games, they look to make money out of it. Um, say a small group player, let's just say us for example, so as me, you, and Colton. Personally, I'm not looking to make money out of it, I'm just doing it for fun. And because you aren't doing it to sort of like make money out of it, it means the game would be better in my opinion, because I I'm not quite sure why I think it makes it better, but I just have a gut feeling that it would actually make the game better if you aren't making it out of money.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel on the subject that I really like the small groups so far. Probably only because I haven't really worked for a company, but it's kind of the difference between like think of college between having a big lecture hall where you hardly get it um, where you're kind of given instruction, but then after that you're left to your own devices and you don't really get much help from
Yeah, I've
the
been there.
others. Yeah.
Oh,
Whereas in a small setting, you have more of that on one.
yeah.
Um,
Um, Saying that, because me and Colton, well, and you Tristan as well, but you turned it down because you're busy in real life and all that. Um, Me and Colton got invited to I wouldn't call it like a company or or about some sort of title. Some people, they were looking to make a video game.
what
Um,
kind?
well, they weren't looking to make a video game originally. They just were looking out for people to sort of uh, to get in that area, if that makes sense. So they came to us. So it
They
turns
were
out,
looking for partners to.
yeah. Well, they are. Well, it turns out they are making a video game now. Um, we're still on the discussing which stuff we want to do, like what the game will actually be. In my opinion, I think it's coming. Well, just from the facts I know already, it's like a FPS multiplayer PvP game, but like medieval. But it's got a lot of nice elements. So if you, this is only like just being what's discussed at the moment. So like if you die, you reset to zero. So like you got that huge risk factor of not dying, which I sort of like. I agreed with that. But yeah, it's with them. It's not like they didn't come to us like, oh, we want to make money and we need your help. It's like they want to make a game, and I'm like, cool. I want to make a game. Apart from like working on the tool set, making Molior RS, it would be fun to actually make like a proper game instead of like using Neverwinter Nights 2 to create stuff. So I've been using Unity, but I think the only reason why I joined was because I've been offered. Surprisingly, a lot of people have like came to me saying, "Hey, do you want to create RuneScape in Unity?" And I'm like, "No, because the first thing will happen is you'll get illegal actions taken on you, and then you're just gonna waste a whole bunch of time in
Well,
your."
that's all kind of it's as far as copyrights go. There's no dead set rule for copyrights, or at least they keep it secret. I'm not sure.
Well, if you keep
It
it
just kind
secret,
of seems like well, what really makes sense to me is how copyrights should work. Is if you're making money off of it, then you take legal action. But if it's just a fun project to well share with others, then there's no harm done.
while saying that, one guy contacted me. He made. Have you ever heard of Slender Tubbies?
No, I. What's that?
Um, it's one of those typical horror indie games. Pretty much like a rip-off of Slender Man, but it's Teletubbies. So the guy who made that contacted me saying he's making a well, he was going to make a RuneScape sort of game. Um, and I was like, no, because first off, you better off contact the Jagex legal team. Then he came back to me and was like, it's sort of true, you know, you can't even make areas like in Unity. I can't make a game called RuneScape and then have a city called Varrock and then upload it. But anyways, like you said, if you think if it's free, then nothing should happen. But this guy made a grand from that game, from just Ad Venue, and it was free to play. And I think about 2 million people played it. I know PewDiePie played it as well. And it's something what we're doing, Molior RS on Never's Notes too. I think that's personally fine because we're doing it through another game. Um, Jagex have commented on it before, and it's not like, oh my god, this is bad, we're shutting you down. But like, oh, it's a cool thing. So that's sort of reassuring for now. But if me and this group were like, oh, we're gonna make RuneScape but better, that's obviously gonna be taking action.
Well,
Well, how would you?
um,
Yeah, you go.
go on. Well, my main point by saying that is if you're making something just for people to have fun on, then it shouldn't. The business side of it, um, like if you're not charging money, the business side of it shouldn't come after you.
I was gonna say, so Tristan, say you spent 3 years, you and this small group of friends, you made a first-person shooter. Um, it was really successful. You made a lot of money from it, and you're looking to make a number 2 version of it, but obviously better and all that. And it's like a fully functioning game, not some like crappy indie game. So like, you probably start a gaming company. How would you feel, and what would you do if, say, like, you heard some other people were sort of like making a rip-off of your game? Wouldn't that sort of like anger you or something?
Well, is it like a parody?
Um, Trying to think of an example. So say you first-person shooter, let's call it let's call it Infantry. Um, So you have this game called Infantry. It's a first-person shooter. It's really unique. You got like a lot of people playing it, and let's say you can. I'm trying to think what would make it unique. um, I'm gonna copy Titanfall, and let's say you can use Titans and like mechanics and all that. And let's just pretend Titanfall
You can
isn't a
ride
game.
dragons.
Or you could ride. Yeah, let's just say it's a first-person shooter, but there's like dragons and all that crap. Okay,
Sounds like a
so
good idea. Well,
say
go ahead.
that's the game called Infantry. Then some small group of friends, like um, let's say a group of 5, they're making a replica of it in Unity. It's like it's a first-person shooter, and you can ride like dinosaurs and monsters. And it's called like so your game's called Infantry, and that game's called Soldier.
Oh, sure,
You
sure.
obviously know it's like a copy of you. How would you feel?
Or they're making money off of it.
um, let's just say
That's a
they
big
they pull
factor.
it up for Steam on like $5.
Oh yeah, shut their asses down.
That's exactly what I was expecting. uh, so you can sort of see where, or maybe I'm coming from with like, you put a lot of hard work into your game, and then people sort of copying your ideas, then making money from it. I personally don't feel like we're doing that as Molior RS. We're just doing it for fun. If Jagex tells us to stop, I'll probably stop, but still work on it. Yeah, still work on it, but just for me.
Yeah.
Or maybe you and Colin as well, but obviously not like advertise it. Um,
Well, I guess yeah, advertising is kind of
yeah.
a thing too.
Then it'll sort of be that dodgy thing where it's like, hey, do you want to play Molior RS? You gotta add me on Skype because we can't upload a video. And
Yeah, you'd kind of have to go word of mouth.
yeah. I'm
I think advertisement is evil anyway.
in somewhat form, yeah. If anybody's actually watching the podcast, I'm sorry I've been standing around doing nothing. I'm trying to copy this C into the toolset, but I'm just trying to find out the widths and all that. God, it's driving me insane. I know I'm -5. But yeah, so back to the topic. What have you answered it? If you think um, player companies know more than actual gaming companies, or which one do you prefer? What would you
I feel
prefer?
like I'd prefer the small gaming companies because I have more of a say in where the project where the project goes, what it's going to look like.
Yeah, actually, no doubt I would probably join a gaming company if I got invited to it,
Well,
because
yeah, there's lots of money.
yeah, you got to think about your actual life as well, then sort of satisfying
I would
other
probably
people.
move to Texas too and like work from there because no income tax.
Ah, I know Nobi.
Yeah, we have a state out here in the U.S. that doesn't charge tax on income.
Oh, nice. Actually reminds me, a job interview I once had. It was this IT, it's just IT work, like office work, filing and all that crap. And the guy asked me what my hobbies. I'm like, oh, I play video games and I make this. I was showing him Molior RS examples and all that. And so he goes, why are you here instead of like applying for Microsoft? And I'm like, alright, calm down, it's easier said than done. You can't just go up to Microsoft and say, hey, you're gonna give me a job, so give me it. Um, I felt really awkward back then. Um, I'm gonna check what time. Oh god, we got one more minute.
On this topic.
Um,
Yeah.
do you want to just stop and go on to the next one?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, so the next topic is Molior RS related. Yay. Um, so it's not going to be back and forth questions and all that. Tristan, Molior RS where it stands. We got all the free to play areas, some pay to play areas, and
Yes, that's a huge milestone.
it actually is. And we're working on stuff like quests for monsters dropping loot and all that. But think outside the box. So say like I'm gonna ask you some questions like now. So Tristan, thinking outside the box, what would you
Wait,
like?
wait.
Wait.
Okay, I'm out of the box.
What would you like to see in Molior RS? And I'm not talking about like we're working on beta 3, so I don't want you to say like, oh, I want beta 3 to be done sooner. So thinking outside the box, what would you like to add into Molior RS at some point in its lifetime?
Hmm. Well, I really like how like old school RuneScape revamped the wilderness. I would like to do something like that, not the exact same way, but I would like to.
How would you revamp it?
I would I kind of had the idea of adding some wilderness quests where you're in danger at all times, but
Yeah,
um that might that might be one direction I'd go.
it
I
would.
like the boss thing, how they added bosses and resources everywhere.
I like that too. Um, I forgot what I was about to say. Um, it's I haven't fully tried.
Maybe I would add player-owned houses in the wilderness.
Yeah, well, that would
Yeah.
surprisingly be good because you could sort of add defenses onto your house, and you'll pretty much literally stop people from robbing your house and killing you. That would be fun. uh, so I will let you choose one more. So, what would be the other thing? So, you'd want to see the wilderness be revamped. What would be the second thing?
Well, one thing I really like about Molior is um, how it's in a different age than
Oh
RuneScape.
yeah.
So I would like to change the some of the areas to look like they're in the past.
Yeah, there is a lot of lore we need to add.
Have different NPCs custom made that don't exist in RuneScape,
Same.
or maybe younger versions of some NPCs.
At the moment in the actual Molior RS, we have Duke Rolled, I believe his name. God, I cannot pronounce names in RuneScape for crap.
I think he's Horatio.
No, that is Lumbridge.
Oh,
So he's called I'll type it out to you. So it's that. I want to say Rolled, but it just sounds odd in my opinion.
yeah.
So he is the Duke of Tharok in our game, but in the age, because we've set it in the 5th age of year 20, it's actually a different Duke. I can't pronounce his name. I'll probably add the name up once I'm editing the video. But it's an entire different Duke. I believe Duke Horsio was actually a child, because he was alive when he was a kid, I believe, when Crandor got attacked, and that was like 10 years before. So like Crandor got destroyed in the year 32 or something, and obviously we're doing it in the year 20. So Duke Horsio actually might be a baby or very little kid. So that would be actually be fun to add. So you go to Lumbridge and see Duke Horsio, but he's like a really small kid. Uh, right.
Yeah, that's exactly
Tabliers
kind of what I want.
came out nice. So that's what you um, do to the project, is to
Yes.
like update the lore.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like
I don't
that.
know much of the lore myself,
Wow,
but I'm
most
sure it's out on the public
it's the trouble with RuneScape. They
on the
don't
wiki.
touch a lot of lore which people don't want to sort of like know. So like Crandor used to be a massive trading city, and that's all you know of it. So when me and Colton built Crandor, the new version, we just had to use our imaginations, and it came out perfect. Like it would actually be in RuneScape. Um, So that's your two.
Yeah. Now, how about you? What kind of what's your first thing
Uh,
you?
oh my god. I would like to have random encounters. Um,
Oh,
not. I'm gonna
the
combine
mysterious
this.
old man.
Not like random events, but I'm gonna. It's not random encounters, but like I want to add some sort of realism to the project. So like um, I'm gonna give three examples, but it's still the same. What I'd add to Molior RS. So like one, I'd add like the street lights turning on at night, or street lamps. They're not electric. Um, they'll be turning on at night, then turn off when it's turning to morning daylight. Um, two, I would love to add NPCs acting real. So like you're gonna see some. Trying to think of a Varrock, for example. You're gonna see NPCs like going into shops, buying items, actually going to their houses and sleeping at night and all that. And the third one would be monsters being a lot smarter. So um, the
Oh, that
West.
needs to be done.
Definitely. I could give an example. So, like the west of Lumbridge, um, it's like a good training ground for like people who just joined the game. You got a bunch of goblins walking around, but you know it's because the game has day and night cycles. You're going to see goblins walking around a forest 24 hours a day for the rest of their lives until they die, then respawn. And I want to add some sort of realism. So, like at night, the goblins could go into a cave, and they have like beds in an encampment, and they would actually like sleep. So, like at night, you could do some raids on a goblin, and there could be like a goblin chief, like a mini boss or something. And the goblins sort of like invading towns. So, like you could see a pack of goblins randomly attacking Lumbridge and their citizens, and you could go help them, and then the Duke would give you a reward. Stuff
Oh
like that.
gosh, I love that. That sounds awesome. Uh,
um, the second thing I would
how
add,
hard do you think it would be to implement that? Um,
surprisingly not hard, but it wouldn't be to my knowledge at the moment. I know how to make NPCs move at certain times, or with this as a spawning mod I have, I could make it where a pack of goblins spawn, or they have a chance to spawn at, let's say, 11 p.m. at night in a corner of Lumbridge. Um, so think of it as like a virus. So I put a virus in a city, and it's gonna eventually spread. So at night there's a chance for goblins to spawn. Obviously, they're not gonna like every time at night in Lumbridge there's gonna be a goblin invasion. But you're going to see a small pack of goblins in a corner. They're going to sort of catch on to an NPC going to sleep, or sort of like walking to the house to go to bed. Then they attack that. They're going to roam around the city and attack anybody they see. And then they'll eventually go into like houses and start killing people in their sleep. I could do that now, if I had like a month to do it. But it sort of wouldn't be really perfect. So like you could see goblins getting like stuck in a corner or something. But yeah, that would be fun to see. It would give that new edge to RuneScape. Um, the second thing, um, the second thing would probably be I'm trying to think. Um, I I honestly don't know what the second thing could be. I, 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 I know it sounds stupid, but probably to see the project fully done in all the pay-to-play areas. That's going to happen
oh
at
no,
one point.
that's not stupid.
um,
That's a goal.
yeah, it would be nice to sort of like just literally you could go around every single place, seeing like Yanil, Relica, Lunar Isles, and having all the quests there, and actually putting like a crap load of hours into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing we should talk about is how we're going to organize ourselves.
Yeah,
Because right now we're kind of we're kind of all doing different things
it's
in the project on the side.
yeah. We have a slight idea, but it's not fully there. So like at the moment we're working on beta 3, but um, after beta 3 is like quests, and I'd say that's mostly um, we need to like have priorities,
Yeah.
because I know in the early stages I was just I built Lumbridge, and then I built Lumbridge Swamp, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna build Restless Ghost Quest, and that was sort of a waste of time because in the end Tristan ended up redoing it, so don't want to sort of like having to sort of step over toes and all that, and sort of like repeating ourselves in somewhat sense.
Now I've got a few things coming out of my college project. A few organizational things I want to share after this. Yeah.
I look forward to it. We got about 3 minutes left. Tristan, do you want to
That's
say?
enough time for another topic.
um, do you want to just say what else you'd like to add or something?
Oh.
Because I'm sure we can't fit another topic in 3 minutes.
Well, I would I don't play Neverwinter Nights as much as it would take to know how the game works. But some of the features I'm sure could fit into the project from the actual Neverwinter
Um,
Nights game.
I'm trying to think what. Um, yes and no in somewhat sense. I keep saying that word for some reason. um, I'm trying to think what from Neverwinter Nights 2 we could add, but I can't think of anything at all. Oh god.
Well, I'm sure it'll come eventually.
Yeah. Pretty much
But that's
nearly.
that's kind of just what I've been thinking for the past few weeks is, hey, we're making a project in a game. I'm sure there's things we could take from that game.
Yeah.
And
Well, we are sort of taking like all the objects in NPCs and items and all that. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like say area designs.
yeah,
So like I know there's a it's called West Harbour. It's like a large docking area. We could say look, instead of like trying to think, because Grandor's like fully complete and like custom made. Um, we could say, oh, you could go to this harbour in like the eastern lands, and we'll just use that area, which is pre-made.
uh-huh.
So yeah, may as well cut the video about a minute short.
Oh, I want mounts. If
Um,
we add summoning, I want mounts.
you can add mounts, but I think it's only horses, which is still good. But yeah, that is actually doable. I actually think mounts is part of Neverwinter Nights 2. It was definitely
There
part
we
of
go. See?
Neverwinter Nights 1. I'm not quite sure if it's in Neverwinter Nights 2 though. But yeah,
Yeah,
mounts would be fun.
yeah, I
Arise
can just
like
see
a Calphite
myself
king.
now. It killed my horse.
We actually do have horses in game. Colton added some in Lumbridge to sort of
Can you already mount them though?
uh I need to look in if mounting is actually part of the game. There is a mod, and I downloaded it like when I started. I was just talking about. I randomly made the Restless Ghost quest, and I randomly downloaded a mount mod. um, I don't think I got it to work because I didn't know how mods worked back then. But yeah, I will look into if it's actually part of the game or just a mod. Um, but yeah, that's it for the podcast. Anything you gotta say, Tristan?
Take care.
You heard him. Take care. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.